Hi guys, so tonight we're going to tie a salmon fly. It's a version of the Red October that you may have seen me tie on a tube, but this time I'm going to tie it in one of these new red Patriots. So I don't know if it shows up in that there, but like they're like a metallic red paint on them. Really nice looking finish, and I think it'll really add to flies that have this sort of colour theme, you know, anything with red, sort of those back end colour schemes. So I'm going to use a red tie-in thread as well, and I'm going to create a butt using Mirage. So I'm going to go back here to the point where the hooks sort of start to split, and then come forward a little bit. I'm going to dab on a little bit of super glue. Varnish will do the same job, just so that I can wind the butt into it and it'll give a bit of durability, strength to the butt. Now I'm making the butt here much bigger than it's actually going to be. Tie across it, fold, snap that off because I'm going to tie the tail in and tie back over it. Tail, red bucktail. So I'm going to take a little bit of the finish hair from the tip of the bucktail, and I'm not looking for a square end on the fly, so I'm not going to tamp them down with a hair stacker. So I'm going to measure that up for length. So I want a longish tail here, maybe 2 times the body length. So I'll just cut off my bucktail at that length. I'm going to go forward here to just behind where the wing is going to be and start to tie that in on top. Now I'm going to add a little bit of flash to the wing, and I'm going to tie it in at this point as well, and then we'll tie the whole thing back. So again, I'm going to use Mirage. So if I take one strand of Mirage, lay it back here, I don't want it the full length of the tail, maybe 2/3 or 3/4 the length of it. Fold that across, then take that back and cut it at the same length, and then I want to hold the whole lot up in the air sort of as I tie back on it. And what that will do is, as I tie back, it'll keep the whole thing slap bang on top and in the middle of my shank. So next I'm going to tie in the rib and the body. So on the other tube I was using a holographic gold braid, which you can use here as well, but I'm going to use a flat holographic, and I'm going to rib it here with a red wire. So I'm going to tie the red wire underneath, and then I'm going to take a length of gold holographic tinsel here, and we're going to tie that in again slightly on the underside, and wrap the whole thing back to our tail tie-in point, and then come forward, trying to even out the body or the underbody as we go, make it nice and smooth. Now for a bit of durability again, I like to just wind this tinsel into wet glue or wet varnish. So we put a dab of that on, and then we will wrap forward, fold that back, nick it off. So we then take our red wire rib, forward, tie that in, pull it tight, then I'm going to fold it forwards. You can do this under the hook as well if you choose to. So I'm then going to several turns on that so that we have a catch on the wire itself, and then I'll just wiggle the wire back and forward, and what it'll do is it will snap, hopefully at that point. That'll save you cutting it with your scissors. So our wing. So for the wing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a bit of dyed red fox mask. I got this off Mr. Stanton, Franken-Snelder, and I think the quality of the hair on a mask can't be beaten for these sort of small wings on this shape and style of a fly. So I'll take a little bunch of that out and I'll pull out the under fur. I'm going to measure that up for length. Up to yourself. You can go very, very short, or you can take it that it sort of melds in with the tail a little bit. So I'm going to extend it a little bit past the bend of the hook here. So I'm going to set that on, swap hands, that'll have it measured for length, trim off that bit, and then I'm going to take a little bit of runny varnish, put a dab of that into the very base, set it on top, and then wind down into it, and you can see that sort of forcing the varnish out of the fibres. And that is our wing on top. Next, I'm going to put on a golden pheasant rump feather that has been dyed like a scarlet, and this will sort of like add a little bit of wispiness, like a space style theme sort of almost to the fly. And if you want a particularly sparse fly, you can actually just use this as your last tackle and finish the fly off, but I'm going to add on another one after it. So we'll tie it in by its tip, fold it back, and then we'll wind that on. Now you're only going to get a couple of turns out of this because of the short nature of the stalk on these feathers. Don't pull too hard either because they are very prone to snapping. Tend to snap with the pithy part that you're trying to hold on to here with the pliers, so sometimes I'll do that just with my hands, as it tends not to break so easily. So we'll then just separate out those fibres that, and as you can see we now have like a wispy sort of a spay type hackle around which you can finish your fly at this point if you want. So we're going to take a couple of small jungle cockeyes here, and we're going to put them on. Fold back the bases, tie over it, and then trim the butts off those. And what I'm going to do now is to put on a scarlet badger hackle. One of these. So we'll strip the fluff, flip that over and double it. Don't worry if you can't really see what I'm doing here. I do have a doubling hackles video in my techniques section or gallery if you want to check that out. So we tie it in by the tip, fold back, tie back, put on a little bit of wax, and then just take our tie-in thread forward, and then we wind on our front hackle. So my fingers might get in the way a little bit here, but I'm doing because what I'm doing is I just fold the fibres back, and that reorientates the stalk as it lays onto the shank, and you can use that to make your hackle either stick out fairly perpendicular, or you can twist it and lay it on flatter, so that when I then preen that it will lay in fairly tight. So what I do there is I just fold that stalk back, tie over it, and then I just give that a little bit of a pinch and a preen, and my hackle then all sweeps back nicely. So that's fly tied, time to finish it off. So I'm just going to take super glue and run it on about an inch of the tying thread there. You can see it creates little blebs. Start at the front of the head and just wrap slowly back while that's still wet. Finish off into it. And just to finish it off totally then, what we need to do is to put the clear varnish on that there. So as it's a small head, I'm not going to use the brush, I'm going to use a needle and just rotate the fly, dabbing the clear varnish onto the head. A little bit more. I'll probably get another coat to finish it. So, Red October tied on the new red Patriot. I'm really looking forward to fishing that one next year. Certainly at the back end I think that'll really work. So, if you like what you see, like and subscribe please. Comment down below, follow me on Facebook, and until next time, tight lines, and thanks for watching.